In the end, I didn't really do anything at all. I wonder if they'll be mad. You, on the other hand, though, you really worked way too hard. Aww.
Hey friends, Senpai here. So after all that chaos at the event, episode 20 wrapped things up with Gojo just flexing on everyone, again. But now, it looks like we're slowing down a bit and checking in with the characters. We got to see some bonding moments and a little reflection after the attack. I think this episode will give us even more downtime, and maybe start setting up the next arc. I'm not letting my guard down though. Jujutsu Kaisen always has surprises ready.
Oh, you poor thing. Shall I put you out of your misery? Hold on now. Don't go acting on your own, human, or you'll die. Oh, stop. I was just being kind, which a curse might not quite understand. So, got the goods? Without a hitch. All 6 of the special grade Sukuna's finger cursed objects that Jujutsu High possessed. And the other special grade cursed object, Cursed Womb's death paintings, 1 through 3.
Most of the temples at Jujutsu High are actually just a facade. Tengen's barrier keeps their positions changing every day. And within those, only one of over 1,000 doors actually leads to the storeroom that holds cursed objects as dangerous as the fingers. Each day, only Tengen knows which door leads to the true storehouse, so I doubt anyone will interfere.
Who's this Tengen you're talking about?
A sorcerer with immortality technique.
Yeah, he must be even stronger than Gojo.
Immortality, but not eternal youth. You can think of him as sort of just a tree. Tengen basically doesn't interfere with the world, aside from maintaining barriers, so you really don't have to worry about him. Remember the finger we let Jujutsu High retrieve? I put a charm comprised of Mahito's cursed energy on it before they collected it. It's under a single layer seal, so they won't bother to remove it. He'll be able to find it easily.
And are there gatekeepers?
Tengen does keep 2 attendants between the door and the storeroom, both chumps. More importantly, before the veil actually goes down, I'd like you to very quietly thin out the sorcerers stationed at the school, to lighten the burden on Hanami.
Why not just seal Satoru Gojo inside the veil while we have the chance?
Because we don't want to draw his attention toward Mahito's main mission. And we need him to exercise his full power, or it won't be a proper test of the veil. Trapping the students inside will be more effective.
Is it okay to kill all but Sukuna's vessel?
That's fine, but I wouldn't recommend it.
The blonde guy, aimlessly wandering underground, was muttering nonsense as he meandered through the dimly lit tunnels. Lost in his thoughts, he suddenly came across a tragic scene. A man made of tree-like limbs, badly injured and clearly struggling to stay alive. This wasn't just any ordinary encounter. The tree man was an embodiment of nature's power, now broken and bruised from a fierce battle. Upon seeing the sorry state of this mysterious being, the blonde guy decided that the only merciful thing to do would be to help the tree man pass on to the afterlife. He wasn't trying to be cruel, but he believed that death might offer the man a chance for peace, especially after enduring such suffering. Just as he was about to act, a sudden interruption came from an unexpected source. Scarface, a figure whose presence was both commanding and ominous. Scarface appeared out of nowhere, his voice cold as he cautioned the blonde guy against any rash decisions. He warned him that intervening in such matters would only lead to disaster, and the blonde man would end up in the same position as the tree man, facing an untimely death. Scarface had his own plans, after all. He wasn't about to let anyone make moves without understanding the full consequences of their actions. Scarface didn't stop there. After delivering his grim warning, he couldn't resist showing off his latest acquisitions. He grinned widely as he revealed 6 fingers from Little Nana, a bizarre and unsettling trophy, along with a cursed creature he called the embryo. This creature had the ability to change form, 3 distinct shapes, each more terrifying than the last. Scarface was giddy with excitement, knowing how rare and powerful these items were. The creature, which he had acquired.
So far, Sukuna's actions have not been quite what I expected. This is just my guess, but I believe one of the other students acts as kind of a landmine for Sukuna. Worst case scenario, if we step on that, all of our current plans will be ruined.
Then why don't we just go and kidnap Itadori ahead of time? We'll be using him as a pawn.
But Itadori, or rather Sukuna himself, is also a type of landmine for us. That applies to both us and Jujutsu High. We shouldn't agitate it until the moment we want more chaos. October 31st, in Shibuya. Everything we can use to seal Satoru Gojo, we should keep in reserve until then. We'll have a few curse users accompany us too. But Juzo Kumiya, he's disposable. He's not the kind of person who can follow a plan all the way through. He'll just get in our way later. And we'll have a different human as a monitor for our test run of the Veil. So get along with them.
Yeah, you hear that, Jogo? So get going.
I'm not going anyway.
Come on, Hanami, wake up. Let's go.
Mahito? Trying to pump the brakes on my hostility is incredibly stressful.
You're sounding more like a curse every day, Hanami.
Next up are the casualties. 3 second-grade sorcerers, 1 semi-first-grade sorcerer, 5 supervisors, and 2 guards. They were all on standby at the school, and all of them were there working separately from Gojo and Principal Yaga. We're still waiting on the report from Ieiri, but we're nearly certain it was the work of the same cursed spirit that Nanami encountered before.
What do you think? Should we share this information with the students and the other sorcerers?
No. It's probably better to keep this among ourselves. We don't want to give curse users certainty that special grade objects were stolen. Has our captured curse user spilled?
Well, it's no problem getting him to talk, but what he says, it's all just irrelevant nonsense. Although, it's interesting that he's claiming he was only in the attack because he was ordered to come as part of a certain deal.
I just wanted to make myself a coat rack. The monk promised me that. I don't know his name. In fact, I don't even know if it was a man or a woman. Just a brat with white hair and a bob cut.
From some covert mission was undoubtedly a significant gain for him, and it only added to his growing collection of cursed artifacts. With the conversation shifting, Scarface delved into the topic of Jujutsu High and its complex web of traps and deceptions. He explained that most of the temples on the campus were simply distractions, designed to mislead and confuse anyone who might try to break in. They were part of a larger, more sophisticated barrier system set up by Geto, a man with extraordinary powers over cursed energy. The barriers themselves were constantly shifting, changing their layouts every single day. This made it nearly impossible to predict where the key doors would be located. There were more than 1,000 gates on the campus, each leading to a different location. But only one gate led to the cursed tool vault, and only Geto knew which one it would be on any given day. It was a game of chance, strategy, and secrecy. Scarface seemed to relish in the complexity of the situation. He described how Geto was not just a master of curses but a being who seemed to defy normal laws of nature. Despite being immortal, Geto didn't age, a frightening and unnatural aspect of his existence. However, aside from his involvement with the cursed barriers, Geto rarely interfered in the affairs of others. He had his own agenda, and his selfish desire to remain detached from everything else made him all the more dangerous. Scarface had an understanding of this, which was why he knew not to worry about Geto getting in his way. In fact, the reason Scarface was able to track down the correct door was due to the talisman Geto had unknowingly placed on one of Nana's fingers. This talisman was created using Scarface's cursed energy, making it easy for him to—
A mysterious androgynous monk kid with a bob haircut. Ring any bells?
Nah, the guy sounds like a bullshitter. Have we got anyone skilled at confessions?
How did these outsiders and a cursed spirit get through all of Tengen's barriers?
That was probably the work of the special great cursed spirit the students were fighting. That one has a unique presence. Even though it's a cursed spirit, it's incredibly close to a natural spirit. According to Aoi, it was able to hide among plants. And Tengen's barrier doesn't function against plants. Remember, Tengen's barrier puts all its power into hiding, not protecting. So, once you get in, it's kind of weak. Are they worried about Sukuna's fingers enhancing Yuji's potential? Or are they trying to enhance themselves? Something isn't sitting right.
Well, for the time being, at least our students are all safe.
But obviously, the exchange event will have to be cancelled.
Hold on! Since when is that a decision we get to make?
Huh?
So how's it possible that you get along with a gorilla like Toto?
Well, the two of us got along, but it was like, I do remember everything, but it feels like I wasn't exactly myself at the time.
What do you mean? Were you drinking?
You seriously believe I could have been drinking liquor in a situation like that? That would have been insane. Anyway, I'm just glad your injuries weren't too serious, Fushiguro. To your health and this pizza.
You could have brought me something easier to digest.
No complaining.
Apparently, I got off easier because my cursed energy was all gone, and the area was still able to fix me up as soon as the roots were removed.
Huh. So that's what happened?
You should know. You fought against them too, didn't you?
Itadori.
Huh?
You know, you've grown a lot stronger.
Huh?
Before, we both said that we stood by our convictions. I still think that's true. But then on the other end, one could say that we're both wrong about all of that.
Huh?
Some questions don't have any answers. Don't think so hard. You'll go bald.
You're right. There is no answer. I know it's just a matter of trying to accept it. But why accept something you don't want? Only weak sorcerers do that. So I've decided. I'll surpass you.
You never change.
Did I get left out of the conversation again?
There you go. That's my brother and his friends for you.
Follow its trail and locate the door that would lead him to the cursed vault. Scarface's plan was calculated and meticulous. He knew that the talisman, despite being hidden under a layer of seals, could not be removed easily. The seals were there to prevent anyone from tampering with it, but to someone like Scarface, who had knowledge of the system, it was no obstacle. He had always been one step ahead of his enemies, and this situation was no different. He also mentioned that he hadn't sealed Gojo, one of the strongest sorcerers at Jujutsu High, inside the barriers because Geto didn't want him to become aware of the operation. Additionally, he wanted to see how effective the barrier system would be when tested against Gojo's overwhelming power. By trapping the students instead, it would be easier for Scarface to carry out his plans without worrying about any interference from the likes of Gojo. As Scarface spoke, he also revealed that he had sensed someone among the students who was very important to Nana. This person, he warned, could not be harmed in any way, as doing so would ruin the entire plan. Scarface wasn't taking any chances, the stakes were too high. To ensure the success of his mission, he had sent a few of his own cursed spirit users to accompany the students, but he was particularly focused on one individual, the bald-headed student named Juzo. Scarface wasn't concerned about Juzo's fate, though. He knew that Juzo was a rogue element who didn't follow orders, making him a liability for the future. It was fine if Juzo got taken out during the mission. Meanwhile, the 3 first-year students at Jujutsu High were sitting together, enjoying a meal of pizza. Nobara, ever the curious one, started questioning the relationship between Yuji and Tudu.
Wait, where are you going, brother? Hey, hold up!
Look, I'm grateful to you, but come on, give me a break. You know damn well that I wasn't thinking straight back then.
What are you saying? We've been so close ever since middle school, brother!
Since middle school? I didn't go to your middle school!
Hello, Useless Miwa here. And even though I call myself useless, I don't actually think that I'm all that bad. But it is true that while everyone else was risking their lives fighting during the special grade cursed spirit's attack, I was fast asleep, and now I feel ashamed. Also, I wonder who broke my sword. Was it Mai's older sister? After all of that, we thought the exchange event would be cancelled. But now, after taking a day off, here we all are.
Label!
Playing baseball!
So anyway, that happened, and some people died. But, what now? Keep going?
I have no idea what to say to that.
Get real. The exchange event will continue, of course.
Toto? What are your reasons?
For one, only those who have a direct connection to the victims have any right to mourn them. It would be rude of us to butt in there. And secondly, if people have died, that's all the more reason for us to work to become stronger. Acquired strength can only come from the accumulation of results. Tasting defeat and savoring victory. These are the things that lead us to grow. The most important thing now is for those results to continue to exist.
This is surprising. Toto sounds almost reasonable.
Reasonably crazy.
Third, when a student feels like they weren't able to bring out their best, it'll hang over them until they die.
How old are you?
Yeah, I'm fine with all that.
We'll still win anyway.
He does have a point there.
Tomo, shouldn't you be resting?
I'm in.
Salmon.
How do we pair up for the individual fights?
Eh? There are no individual battles.
The exchange event always has the principals of the 2 schools. Each propose a form of competition for the 2 days. Or that's how it's supposed to be. Every year till now, the first day has been team battles and the second individual battles.
Salmon.
I don't like routines, but this is how it's done. Every year we put the competition methods here and pull one out.
Individuals who, at first glance, didn't seem to have much in common. Yuji himself couldn't recall exactly why he and Tudu were so close, but Megumi, always the observant one, noted that Yuji had grown considerably stronger over time. He believed that Yuji would continue to grow and would be able to overcome any challenges that lay ahead. Megumi, in his usual quiet and calculating way, expressed his confidence that they could face whatever challenges came next. Just as the conversation was unfolding, the 3 students realized that Tudu had been sitting with them the entire time, quietly listening to their discussion. Yuji, panicking at the thought of being overheard, dashed out of the room and ran all the way up to the school's rooftop. His haste only reflected how deeply he feared the consequences of his words being heard by the ever-vigilant Tudu. This was just another example of how the dynamics between the students were constantly shifting, with each individual grappling with their own strengths and weaknesses. At the same time, a meeting was taking place among the higher-ups at Jujutsu High. The supervisors were discussing the aftermath of a recent incident in which several sorcerers had been killed, and 2 powerful cursed artifacts had been stolen. They had gathered information, and it was clear that the attack was linked to a powerful cursed spirit that had clashed with Nanami. However, the bald-headed student was not providing any useful information. He seemed entirely uninterested in divulging anything of importance, sticking to the simple excuse that he had followed orders. He couldn't even remember the name or gender of the white-haired monk who had been involved in the incident. The Tokyo principal, sensing the gravity of the situation, decided not to report the incident to higher.
Principal Gakuganji's previous visit was to discuss what items might be needed on the day of the event.
Huh? What? Whoa!
Baseball?
You too?
What's going on here, Yaga?
I don't know. I was sure I put individual battles in there. Hey, get back here, Satoru!
Pay attention, learn a lesson, make a possessing, omnipresent. Pay attention, learn a lesson, make a possessing, omnipresent. Pay attention, make a possessing, omnipresent.
Fly ball! Nishimiya, no! Don't run yet!
Out!
Huh? But why? Momo, if you don't know the rules, then say so! I do know that when the ball's hit, I run! A sacrifice fly? What's that, some new form of torture? You're just plain stupid!
I heard you fought off a special grade. Huh? Oh, yeah. Mostly thanks to Toto and Gojo, really. No helmet, dude? Itadori, why did you want to be a Jujutsu sorcerer? At first, it just kinda happened. But I'm kind of a loner. So, I want to save lots of people, so that I'll have lots of them watching over me when I die.
If you're not there, Mom, then I won't become a Jujutsu sorcerer!
Listen, Noritoshi. You have talent. You can use it to save lots of people. The more people you save, the more you'll be recognized. Then, in turn, all kinds of people will help you. You'll only be alone for now. And one day, once you've become a great sorcerer, I know you'll come and get me.
Okay. That's a good reason.
Stir right! Batter out! Change up!
Kamo, you'll never get a hit if you don't swing!
They call me Tanaka of Tohoku.
No, Tanaka's the Tanaka of Tohoku.
And Tanaka's a pitcher!
The NATO flakes.
What the hell is that?
Uh-oh! Kugisaki snapped! It's a free-for-all!
Wait! Hey! Using a pitching machine is against the rules!
I don't know what you're talking about. This is just a spare. It's a spare Mechamaru. We had no other choice since your panda broke our main one. Huh, a pitching machine, eh? I guess I don't understand, but you know a lot about machines. Hey, are you an otaku?
It's just one thing after another with you, huh? And yet somehow you're still a student here.
Yeah, fine! I'll get a hit anyway!
Alright, she got on base.
Fueled by rage.
Authorities just yet. He didn't want to alarm the wider sorcerer community with news of the theft of a special grade cursed object. He also considered canceling the upcoming exchange event, but Gojo quickly disagreed, reminding everyone that such decisions weren't theirs to make. Gojo, with his characteristic confidence, wasn't about to let anyone undermine his plans. The Tokyo principal, understanding that Gojo had his own agenda, asked the students for their opinions. After a brief explanation of the current situation, Tudu immediately stepped forward and argued passionately that the event should continue. His reasons were heartfelt and convincing. He claimed that mourning was for the families of the dead, and since people had died, they needed to become stronger. Tudu's speech, filled with determination, won over the students, and they unanimously agreed to proceed with the exchange event. However, Gojo then dropped a bombshell. There would be no individual battles this year. Instead, the event would be entirely focused on team battles. This was a shocking announcement, as the exchange event had always followed a two-day format, team battles on the first day, and individual battles on the second. The students were left in confusion, unsure of how to react. Yuji, tasked with drawing the lots for the matchups, was handed a piece of paper that read, "Baseball." The entire group, including the two principals, was thrown into a frenzy, unsure of what to make of this unexpected twist. But Gojo, ever the master of manipulation, quietly slipped away, acting as if he had no part in the decision, even though he was the one who orchestrated the entire event. The baseball match was intense and highly entertaining. The Kyoto team, desperate for an advantage,
Home run.
Ah, cheater! Bonito flicks. Kugisaki, go back.
Catcher, huh? As catcher, you'll call the shots, lead the defense, etc. One has to say it's a fitting position for my brother. But I want a real face-off. A face-off with pitcher Itadori.
Toto. You could have been their pitcher.
No, he couldn't. Mekamaru had to pitch because it's all he can do.
Promise me this, brother. In a second, if I hit a home run right here, next time you'll...
Yeah, Toto, hang in there.
Hey, nice pitch.
Nice pitch.
Nice pitch, Maki.
Nice pitch.
Really, it wasn't bad.
That was a good one.
Nice pitch, Rocky.
Nice pitch, Rocky. Wow, bro. Everyone really hates you. I mean, everyone.
That's pretty good. Good one.
Do you still hate young Itadori?
It's not about liking or hating him. The fact is that Itadori isn't allowed to exist under Jujutsu laws. He's only still alive due to Gojo's selfishness. We must not bend the rules of the group for any one individual, especially as we know that many others may die because Itadori lives.
But there are lives that were saved thanks to him too. Case in point, he worked together with Toto to fend off the special grade.
Pulled out a pitching machine, much to Nobra's annoyance. She was ready to cause a scene, but Mike quickly explained that the team was short-handed due to injuries, and they had no choice but to rely on the machine. Despite understanding the situation, Nobara still wasn't happy about the turn of events. Gojo watched closely from the sidelines, analyzing every move the students made. When it was Tudu's turn to bat, he made a dramatic entrance, delivering an impassioned speech to his teammates. But before he could even swing, Maki launched a pitch straight into his face, knocking him out of the game. The students erupted in laughter and excitement at the unexpected turn of events. Yuji, however, felt a deep sense of sorrow for Tudu, his fallen comrade. As the game continued, Noritoshi asked Yuji why he chose to become a sorcerer. Yuji explained that it was his grandfather's dying wish to help others. He wanted to make a difference, to save people, and he hoped that when he died, many would mourn his passing. Noritoshi, moved by Yuji's sincerity, reflected on how similar his words were to what his own mother had told him. She had always believed that if you helped others, you would receive help in return. Yuji's philosophy resonated with him deeply, and he acknowledged that Yuji's reasoning was admirable. However, as they continued talking, Noritoshi became distracted and was knocked out of the game. The match ended with Tokyo emerging victorious, winning 2-0. The game was a turning point for many of the students, as they not only gained a deeper understanding of their own abilities but also of the people they were fighting alongside. This was just the beginning, and the road ahead would be filled with more challenges, revelations, and battles.
Not that this applies only to our students, but they're going to stack up many regrets as their lives go on. I wish I had done that. I wish they'd done this. I should have said that. I wish someone had told me this. To be honest with you, I don't know what the right decision is when it comes to Itadori. For now, let's just watch over him, all right?
Whoa, he made it!
Yeah, Inamaki's surprisingly fast, huh?
Salted row.
Mai, Miwa, watch out for the steal!
How about we save our regrets for another day?
Nailed it.
Yes!
Yaga, do something about Gojo first.
Stroll. Salmon? I'll say rice. But then again, I do like bread too. Hey, wait. Does it come with roe on it?
I'm rice.
Rice, I suppose.
What? No way, I'm a bread girl.
Salted rice ball.
Obviously it's bread because I'm a panda! You want me to kill you or what? I don't know. This one feels kind of forced somehow.
It's not you. They're out of ideas.
Time to go home.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. Drop a comment too. I'd love to hear your thoughts and keep improving these reactions for you. See you next time.